from love towards fellow co-workers, from love towards customers, from love towards nature, towards planet. Imagine a company where people understand how we are all interlinked and interconnected, and that our each decision affects many. Even our thoughts affects many. Imagine a company where people understand what is their personal mission and purpose, and they live accordingly. Imagine a company where people with full responsibility co-create value for all stakeholders. Imagine a company where people build trust-based relationships. How can we create such a company? I'm sure that not by waiting for some superhero to come and solve the problems we have. We need to count on ordinary people, on people like me, like you, like our fellow co-workers, because we, committed people, can make a change. When we understand that we influence each other and that we are all part of a system, then we also know that if I change, the system changes. If you change, the system changes as well. And if many of us change, the system changes even faster. And now I would like to share with you a picture from fallen Berlin Wall, a picture that shows the sign on this Berlin Wall. Now I need to just bear with me for a while. And this picture shows that many small people who in many small places do many small things can really change the world. So, in this post-heroic leadership era, we need to understand that leadership is not about one person at the top. That leadership is about us all, the capacity of an organization to really sense what is needed and to organize itself. So leadership is about me, it's about you, it's about our fellow co-workers. And when we understand how each of us influences each other, and when we want to lead really from the place that we want to support everyone and everything, this then leads to conscious leading and to conscious organizations, because organizations of the future are the organizations that are capable of self-organizing, that have this skill, capacity, quality to see what is going on, to sense what is needed, and to self-organize. Such organizations are a completed energy system where each of us counts, and this system revolves around people, around emotions, around prejudice sometimes also, around ideologies, also around insights. In other words, around everything what also affects the operations, our operations. So in conscious organizations, we need to nurture also this ability to have intuitive insights, because with this capability, we can really create wise solutions that are beneficially for all, for individuals, for teams, for organizations, for community, for the planet. And when we lead such organizations from this higher consciousness, then we can make this transition from old reality to a new reality. The transition from pushing for competitive advantage to really act in line with our mission and purpose. The transition from pursuing for profit for owners to really co-create shared value for all stakeholders. The transition from understanding our organizations as machines, well-planned structures, to perceiving them as living organisms, where relationships create our reality. From waiting for a manager at the top to reveal his vision, to really collectively sensing and shaping our future. And as said already, from leader at the top to distributed leadership, where each of us takes place in co-creating. From managing with power, with positional power, to leading with love, to support everything what's needed. From egocentric approach, when we want to optimize everything for us, for our organization, to ecosystemic approach, when we know that we can thrive only if our complete ecosystem thrive. And from competition to collaboration. Such companies have several measures of success. Usually we say they are striving for 4 Ps. Profit is just one of the measures. They are striving to support people, being employees or customers or suppliers or wider community. They are striving to work aligned with their purpose, and they are striving also to nurture the planet. I know that we can see really a messy world around us now. We can call it tuna, VUCA, RUP, whatever. But there are some approaches that we can deploy to face this messy world. For example, for a novel dimension of this world, we can build trust-based relationships. For the rapid and volatile component of nowadays reality, the right answer is that we are pursuing to create a value for all stakeholders. For this uncertain, turbulent, unpredictable dimension, we need to connect with our purpose and meaning, why we are here, what is our role, how can we best serve the needs of people around us, how can we be a gift for them. For a tangled and complex dimension of today's world, we need to deploy ecosystemic thinking. And for ambiguous and paradoxical quality of today's reality, we need to lead from a higher consciousness. I say to this that we lead from love. Of course, to lead from love, to co-create with others, we need to remember what is our true nature. This creativity, playfulness, flow, intuitivity, connection with the natural cycles, everything needs to be unleashed again. And this inner potential of everybody needs to be bring to the surface, because there's no time to hide any talents anymore. And who can support people in this holistic, consciously development? In this, that they are developing all their intelligences, rational, emotional, and spiritual. Of course, HR people. And here I see the new meaning of HR, making hearts resonate. Because HR people are people who can really orchestrate our hearts to get attunement, to really resonate in the same melody. And that's why also HR professionals need to embody this new leadership code. They need to lead with love, because people will respond to this. They need to have this ecosystemic view. They need to know their purpose, personal purpose, and they need to empower also people to find their personal missions and purpose. They need to co-create value for all, and they really need to create trust-based relationships. Baroness Minouche Shafik, director of London School of Economics and Political Science, says that in the past, jobs were about muscles. Now they are about brains. But in the future, they will be about the heart. And I say to this, the future is here. If you want to inspire people, you have to touch their hearts. And you will touch their hearts if you will open your heart to connect with other people, and also to connect with the nature, to connect with the source life energy. Because we need to connect all our energies to step together and to co-create a thriving, more verdant world that we all know is possible. How can we do this? We can really source wisdom from our forebears, from indigenous people. We can use the wisdom, timeless wisdom, which is packed in Aroha, Ape, Ikigai, Oikos, Ubuntu. I will tell you soon more about it. And from this, with our creation, with the newest technology, we can really prepare solutions that will benefit not just us, but also the next generations. As indigenous people say, we need to think with each decision for 7 generations beyond. Ubuntu comes from South Africa. It means I am because you are. And Ubuntu invites us to really create trust-based relationships of belonging. And this is the base for co-creating. Oikos comes from Greece. It means taking care for your home and family. If we understand that our home is our planet and family, humanity, then we know that we are responsible to create shared value for all stakeholders and are responsible to really create sustainable business. Ikigai comes from Japan. It means life with a meaning. And it invites us to really work aligned with organizational and personal mission. While Ape is a Mayan word, and it means path that connects us all. It invites us into ecosystemic thinking. It invites us in understanding how we are all interlinked and interdependent. And Aroha is Maori word. It means love, compassion, empathy, generosity. In this context, in the new leadership code, it invites us to lead with love, holding space for creativity and innovations. When HR managers deploy this new code, they are empowered to support this paradigm shift from our old logic, I think, therefore I am, to I co-create with my open heart with others, and therefore new emerges, new solutions, innovative products, new business models. This can be done only in collaboration. And collaboration with open hearts, with heart resonating, leads to synergy, and this leads to syntropy. So if we use the wisdom of Oikos to create profit, if we use the wisdom of Ubuntu to take care for people, if we use the wisdom of Ape to take care for the planet, and Ikigai to be aligned with our purpose, and if we do this with love, from Aroha, then we together can make our hearts resonate and we can co-create a better future for all. For HR professionals to deploy this new leadership code, it is also very important what questions to put to yourself. For example, as where from my inner space do I lead? Do I lead from the need to prove that I'm right? Or do I need from the will to support everyone and to nurture each talent? How do I perceive interlinkages and interdependence? Do I see myself as an isolated island, or am I aware? How am I in constantly interaction with others? Where do I seek meaning? How do I enact my responsibility? How do I build relationships? These are the right questions to ask yourself. The African proverb says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. I want to go far, and I believe that you also want to go far. So we need to go together. That's why I also created the community of Aeiou leaders that support each other in this endeavor to create better companies, to create better world. And I would just like to convey the message of two Aeiou leaders, one HR leader and one chairman. Sonja Spoljaric, she is the HR manager for Adriatic at BSH. And she says, just as the harmony is important for a melody, the harmony of all leadership dimensions is important for success in leadership. And Ravi Chaudhry, the Indian guru of leadership, chairman of Tata companies, he says that the AEIOU principles are not merely a recipe for leadership excellence, but they are the cardinal principles of the philosophy of life. And I believe when HR leaders will lead in line with these principles, with open hearts, they will invite others to join, and they will generate this coherence in hearts, and together, I know we can create magic things. Thank you.
Fantastic. Great words to finish up on. Absolutely.